closing.
Compromise.
Oh, you didn't pay your X bill.
Well, hey, hello, everybody. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
I hope everybody can hear us this time. You know, the last 2 times we've done a live, it has been
Wonky.
a little bit of a wonky because, you know, YouTube changed their process. And so for any of you who are us on a half screen, it's because you clicked the wrong live. So now they're displaying a live with a little cell phone icon. And they're also displaying a live that would be regular.
And so, for TV.
Right. So it's meant for TV or, you know, a computer screen. So depending upon which live you click on dictates how you see the picture. There's nothing that I can change on my end to affect it. It's just something I guess everyone's going to have to get used to. So I guess that just is what that is, right? You know, I can't control any of that, nor would I even want to, right?
Yeah. So, I know I did when I clicked on one and it was with a cell phone.
Yeah.
So I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. Yeah. So are they all doing it? Do you know? Channels or just some?
Probably some.
I would guess all, but hard to tell. Right?
I only saw it on one. So
yeah. Yeah. Anyway, well, let's I guess we can get some hellos in here real quick. First, welcome in Scott Horns. Scott's my buddy. I actually got to spend a really cool hour with him today. And we got to just have a really good, direct, honest conversation about life. And it was, I really love those kind of conversations don't come around a lot. And so you got to kind of, you know, really enjoy them and, you know, take them for heart. So anyway, Scott, thank you for that. I really enjoyed it a whole lot. And sometimes it's, you know, it's just a case of having time, because for a homestead, I'm telling you, it's hard. There's always something to do. You know, tonight we're going to go over our goals for 2025, what we actually got accomplished, and then some goals for 2026. And here we are at the end of the year. And
it was a fast year.
It was a fast year. And there's a lot we got done, a lot we didn't get done. And that just is what that is. And so we'll, you know, cook on. But anyway, to take time out of the day to sit and chit chat is not a everyday occurrence on a homestead. And unless they're pounding a T-post with you. Right. And so anyway, it was really, really good. Welcome in, Scott. Silver Lining, how are you, my friend? Me and B were just talking about you. The greatest name on the internet.
Yeah, I love them.
Is in the house, as is the Terminator. Citizen Broadcaster's in the house. And for those of you guys who don't know, Citizen Broadcaster is a beautiful young lady who goes and pokes a arrow in the ribs of our elected officials and keeps them honest by videotaping all of their public meetings. And so if you haven't had a chance to go over and subscribe to JCK Citizen Broadcaster, please do. Again, this is someone who's given of themselves. They don't get paid for it. There's nothing in it for them other than an effort to keep our elected officials honest. And so go over there and show her love and make sure you tell her that Tag sent you. Nitos is in the house. Mr. Off-Grid Nitos is in the house. You know, Nitos, you need to change your name on the screen to Off-Grid Nitos.
Just rolls because, right off the tongue.
Because everything you guys went through in order to get there was, you know, quite the accomplishment.
Yeah.
Tina Hodge, welcome in. Hey, my friend Matthew's here. How are you? Good to see you. Let's see here. Paula is in the house, as is Kent. So let me see here. What's he have to say? I'll put something up there for him. Kent and Paula are in your YouTube audience this evening and support this admonition. Remember, the true reason and meaning for this Christmas season is the birth of our Savior. Oh, look at that. Indiana Mike's in the house. What's up, buddy? Long time no see. Helped him carry a battery the other day. And man, that thing was heavy. That was no joke. Yeah, okay. So Tina says, thanks for clearing that up. I can't see B yet. It's because you're on the wrong one. You got to go out of it. And then when you get to my channel, you got to click on the one for the bigger screen or vice versa. Because if you're on the wrong one, you'll see it wrong. Why they do it that way, I have no idea. We never had a problem before, but for some reason, they feel like they need to change it.
Well, technology, you know.
Yep. Jane Marie, hello. How are you? Good to see you. My buddy Mo Engineer is in the house. Long time no talk. Couple days. No lives complete.
Without a pack rat.
That's right. Let's see here. Pack Rat says, I can hear you. The shutter might be on my end. Hello to all. Anybody else hear a shutter? I don't on my end. Let's see here. Plumber Mickey, what's going on? Gregory Kissel, good to see you. Dana Green, welcome into you as well. And you picked the right one. That's good. Hey, Tina says I can see you both now. Let me see here. Thistle Creek. How is Thistle Creek this evening? Let's see here. Oh my goodness, the king himself, Jeff, Gypsy, Juicy, Hefty, Lefty, Amazon, Mud Dogger, Slick, Phyllis is in the house tonight. Good to see you.
Did you say Hefty?
I did at
Okay.
first. Yeah. Yeah. With Lefty, not Hefty.
Hefty Lefty.
I might have said Hefty, but I meant Lefty.
And Hefty.
And Hefty. Oh my goodness. Kent, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Happy Friday to you. Kent says, happy Friday, everyone. Ready for another installment of our regular scheduled unprogramming by Tag and B. Yep, you got it. You got it. Packrat says, and now I see you in full well as hear you. Clicked on the second link. Yep, good to go. Let's see here. Oh, yep, already read that one. Sorry. Let me see here. Mo says, there are always things to do, but tomorrow getting the skid steer running is no longer one of them. Isn't it nice when you get to chunk some of those things off?
Congratulations.
Yeah, super, super cool. Stan Guthrie, hello, hello. David Strom, how are you, my friend?
And Mo has a skid loader.
And Mo has a skid loader. And AK Amber, how are you, AK Amber? Good to see you. Welcome in. I think I'm caught up, at least for the minute. I'll say hellos as people come in. A couple little laundry items, just so you guys know. Tonight is our 647th communication with people, not just live. So in the history, once this whole crazy adventure started, we have filmed 220 videos, 215 lives, and B has created 212 shorts.
Wow.
Pretty cool, huh? I never really took time to go in there and look.
That's crazy. And they tell you that?
Yeah. And so this is number 647.
Wow.
Did you know you've been up here, let me see, lives 215 times with me?
No.
Going through the good news in our regular scheduled unprogram?
That's too much. We got other things we need to be doing.
Yeah, we do have plenty of things to be doing. And I'm sure that there's some things on our list. Well, I'm sure there's things on our list that I did not get done this year, but I'm 100% confident that you got all of your things off your list this year, right?
Done?
Yeah.
No.
I
think I got 4 things crossed off.
of a list of 40.
6 things.
Yeah. RN, how are you? Welcome in. That's okay. Let's see. How many wood stove cooking videos?
Does it break it down?
I don't break it down like that. So I'd have to go so it depends on how you schedule it. If you schedule them into playlists like I do, like if you go into our videos, you can click on community and it's all the community videos. You can go into the Starve the Beast videos.
You go into what? A playlist?
Yeah. Like if
I
you
have
go
no idea. I'm not even like, there's one button I hit and it is like a plus.
Mhm.
And it says short, and then I click it, and then it says upload. That's it.
Okay. Anyway, she clearly don't put them in a playlist. So Mo, I have no idea.
No playlist.
Yep. Terminator said, let's see here. I've been fighting with a coyote. He had to move my rabbits into the barn. The coyote tried to rip cages apart and the blood in the snow, but rabbits were okay, not injured. Let's see here. My thumbs up was number 5. Hop in there if you're feeling it. Thank you, Packrat. Thank you. Yeah. Anyway, let's see here. Oh, look at that. Jonathan Gardner said, hello, new friends, Jonathan and Trista. Well, let me tell you a little story about Jonathan and Trista. So Jonathan and Trista are a young couple with a beautiful baby and just trying to find their way through life. And, and that's hard. I know a lot of you guys know this, and when you're young, the system is really predatory. And I talk about this all the time, on this channel, and it's very hard to get ahead. And I know many, many young people who are frustrated with this feeling of all I do is work just to barely get by. I don't get anywhere. It's like I'm running this incredible rat race and I'm just spinning my wheels all the time. And then you start questioning, why am I doing it? Right? Why do I do all of this? And so I really understand and relate. But Jonathan and I have been having a lot of conversations just about life and about, those kinds of things. And so I'm proud of you, Jonathan. I'm proud of you that you recognize it. I'm proud of it that you want more for your family. I'm proud of it that your expectations are higher than, where you are today, because if it wasn't, there'd be a problem, right?
Yeah.
And so anyway, I just wanted to say that. And I'm looking forward to our continued conversations. make sure you send our love to Trista and the baby, and we're going to keep on plugging on, right? Anyway, welcome in. We'll be cool. Welcome into you as well. A couple other little notes for you guys, and these are actually two things B don't even know about. Do you know that?
I don't.
Ready
Don't
for
know
some
about
excitement?
that. Yes.
So I'm coming up. I'll be on the Thriving for Futures podcast, and then we're going to talk about what an interesting question about what is it like to get free. And a lot of people might think that that's some easy question, but I'm going to tell you it is a monumental question.
What is it like to get free?
Yeah, it's impossible. First, I'll tell you that right up front. And the reason it's impossible is you just can't do everything. You can't produce everything. You can't. So really the question is, how free can you get? Should be the question being asked. And what are the things you can get to push that boundary of freedom? Because again, we're not ever going to get 100%, or at least under the current system that we have now. Without some type of reset of system, it is impossible to do it. Furthermore, as long as we're paying taxes, we're just paying rent anyway, right? And I have figured out no way around that without going to jail, which I'm not really excited about. So let's see here. Why does the comment section now display more of our personal info? RN, I have no idea.
What kind of personal info?
I don't know what it's displaying for you. On my end is RN3162. I don't see anything else.
Maybe that's.
I don't have. Maybe that's talking about. I have no idea. Yeah, Amber, the AK Amber says the only thing you can truly free is your mind. I agree with this 100%. And you know, I've been focusing a lot in my speeches.
I like that.
Like when I spoke in Texas about the mental side of freedom, and it's about taking radical responsibility. Right? We talk about this in the live all the time. It's about owning everything. What I mean is by owning is, you know, like whatever happens to you is your fault, and just saying it's on me. And that doesn't, again, take the blame off of somebody else. Somebody did you wrong. That's on them. That's between them, their God, their whatever.
Yeah, but
their
you
karma.
get to choose how you react to it.
100%. And you also get to own what part of you put you there, right? Because obviously there was something you did that put you in that situation.
Right.
And you can own that piece of it. And so I think it's radical responsibility. I think it's a fierce commitment to the truth. You know, even if it's not what you want to hear.
And it usually isn't.
And right. And it usually isn't. And so I think the mental side, I think I could have said it any better myself, is just absolutely just freeing it and understanding what it means to be dependent, right? It's about understanding where we're asking permission. But I couldn't agree with you more. I think it's the absolutely perfect comment. Let's see here. Nito says, where's Nito at right there? I am not seeing anything but a name and a comment.
Name in the comment.
Yeah, I love that saying. Also taking radical responsibility. And I mean radical, right? AK Amber, and I know you know this, but you know it's here on the farm. You know, it is my responsibility, 100%, to make B's job as easy as I can make it when it comes to producing our food. It's B's job 100% to make sure her family's eating well and healthy. They were not being poisoned. Well, it's on you, right?
How come some of them have question marks next to their names?
I don't have any idea. YouTube changed a bunch of stuff.
Oh, now it's a star.
I can't even click on it. I have no idea why there's a question. Maybe because they had question mark. See, they have the question mark on them.
Yeah, on RN.
Yeah, any of them.
Nito's.
That means they asked questions. My bad. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. There again. Here we go, changing things on us. Right? It was working just fine, and then off we go. But anyway, I agree. Take radical responsibility, own it all, put it all on you, and you'll find out it's incredibly empowering. AK Amber says, what you put your energy into grows. That another one. And that means down to the mindless scrolling to taking care of one's health. Yep. What you put your energy into grows. I think that's super well said. That's like some t-shirt material right there. Right? We need to make one that says, you know, what you put your energy into grows. And then in parentheses, AK Amber. Right. Famous quotes from Tag and Be Live. Yeah. Let me see here. Mo says the paper Self-Reliance by Ralph Waldo Emerson is all about a free mind. And there's a lot of people who really swear by Emerson's writings. I know a lot of people who really like them. I have not spent a lot of time there, but I really need to. Again, right? Gets into that time thing. So anyway, Other things. So I'm going to be going on the Thriving for Future podcast. We're going to be talking about what it means to get free. And so that ought to be interesting. I'll let you guys know when and where that is. We're just working on scheduling right now. And then also something that B don't know is I was approached by Off Grid Living magazine, and they asked if they could do a feature story on our farm. You not like that?
There's chaos everywhere.
Well, it's honest chaos,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
So I'll let you guys know how that progresses as we go along. I'm at the very beginning, so it'll probably be a couple months before it's released by the time we get through it all, because everything, there's just a lot that goes into it. But anyway, I think it's pretty cool, and it'd be cool to take that magazine and put it up on a wall and frame it and put it on the community building. That'll be neat. I think it'll be neat. Rhonda Benefield, welcome in. Northern Girl Hobby, welcome into you as well. Packrat says home job is much like your past managerial jobs. To be, To be a umbrella so that your team, B in this case, are free to not deal with the aspects and just focus on being productive. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that 100%. Me and B have, I think one thing we've done really well here is manage roles. And it's not always perfect, right? I mean, so B is the primary caregiver of the animals. That doesn't mean I don't go out there and help her or won't help her. Or if she needs a fence built, I'll build a fence. If it needs a gate repaired, I'll repair a gate, whatever. But she's in charge of it. And, I pretty much just do, whatever she tells me. And then there's the other side, which is, if we need to build something, if we're out building fence or whatever it is, B does whatever I ask her to do, because that's just what I happen to be in charge of. And that seems to work well for us, I think.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah.
Hickey Amber says, oh, wow, congrats. Farms are supposed to be chaos. Well, they are. Yeah, David said, please be cautious with corporations. Oh, I will be. I promise you. And I've had, I don't even know, a half dozen documentary companies ask me to come film here that it never worked out because I always demand that I get final say. Before they release it, I get to watch it and I get final say, and I've yet to have any of them agree to it. But if they would, I would absolutely do it because, again, I think it's
because they're looking for views. So
Yep. Well, they are, but at the same time, I also know one of the couples from Doomsday Preppers who lives here in Kansas, who they made them out to seem like these complete whack
is that
jobs.
the guy that was like, we're all gonna die?
Yeah, and it wasn't at all.
Yeah,
it wasn't at all the way they made it seem. So. Anyway, David Strom, thank you for giving it shit and, caring, but I promise you, I will not sign off on anything that I think causes harm. So,
yeah,
we'll see kind of how it goes. But anyway, I think that's a pretty cool deal, don't you?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Can't wait to see what happens.
Yep. What else? We've got a big cold front coming in.
Yeah.
It's going to be 15 to 20 degrees colder than normal over these next couple of days through about Sunday.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go through a warming phase.
Thank goodness.
Yep. And so we're going to have a week of, 50, 55 degree weather, which that's really nice for this time of year here anyway.
Yeah.
And so
odd for us.
Yeah. Me and B are going to go try to tackle the next layer of food forest fence because before it turns really, really bad, we would like to get the chicken wire around enough that we can keep the rabbits out of our orchard because, man, those baby trees, those rabbits in the wintertime, they just are. Yeah. They're just really, really hard on them. And we planted like 28 new fruit trees this last year and they all made it. We didn't have any of them die. And so I really like,
to keep that going.
To keep that going versus having the rabbits, kind of munch them off.
Yeah.
But
started with the deer. The deer would come in and break a bunch of the trees off and chew things. And then and eat plants right out of the ground.
Yeah. And
then we got the first part of the fence up and now the rabbits go through that fence and ate all the dill. They ate all the strawberry tops. They, they ate trees or chewed the bark right off of them.
No. And they don't typically, a brand new tree don't typically come back well from that.
No.
Not typically. Hey, real quick, I want to welcome in Lazy Loper. Where are you hiding, Squatchy? Helen, happy harvest. Good to see you. And Conserve Friends, good to see you as well. Nito says it's been warmer than usual there. I'm looking forward to a couple nice days of, 55 degree weather. We'll go get some stuff done.
Yeah.
Well,
and run that fence would be pretty fast too, I think, because the fencing is already up. We just have to put
you're just putting chicken
wire on top of another fence. So
Yeah, it'll just take a long time to tie it off.
Well,
a lot of tying to do.
Yeah.
So depending on what we're tying it off with, but hog rings will go quick.
Ouch.
Well, but that will go quick. You're trying to twist and tie a wire.
Yeah, especially if we have to cut the wire. We have to cut pieces off of a ream.
Yep.
Yeah. That'll take forever.
Yeah. Yeah, it will. And that's okay. But anyway, we're gonna have to get to it. We're gonna hang out with a bunch of community members tomorrow, right?
Oh yes.
That'll be cool. We haven't gotten together in a little while, so it'll be cool to kind of hang out a little bit and what's going on in everybody's world. And there's a couple of them I've got kind of curious where they're at, that they were working on some things before it got cold, and I hope they got it all done. No one called and said, "Hey, come help me." So I would assume everything's fine.
Yeah. We don't touch base with everybody all the time.
Yeah.
It's just,
we're busy.
There's a lot of them, and we're busy.
Yeah, there's just a lot of things going on, and everyone's trying to level up.
Yeah.
Which is exciting, right? You got everyone pushing towards that, but
thank God.
Everyone trying to level up is not conducive to hanging, right? Yeah.
But thank God that they're all trying to level up.
Yes, amen. RN says warmer here too, and then the deep freeze. Yeah, we got it coming in starting tonight through Saturday and through Sunday. Let's see here. Northern Girl Hobby says, thank goodness it was decently warm here today in Ontario to get some birds processed. Well, good for you. Hoping that we don't get the amount of snow that the South is getting. I'm hoping we don't get any snow, but I really would like to just have a week or two of really good weather. I'd be the last couple things to get finished up for the winter, and would set us up really good for the spring, which it's crazy how that works, right? Like like right now, we're really working towards the spring. And in the spring, we'll be working towards the summer, and in the summer, we'll be working towards the harvest, the fall.
Yeah, I already got my map out for my food forest, trying to work on what I'm doing with the next phase.
Yep. And it's coming, right? Our food forest is 4 years old. Is that right? 3 or 4 years old.
I have no idea. Well, we started it right away. We just lost a lot of things along the way.
We didn't start right away.
Yeah, we did. I was carrying jugs of water back and forth.
Like year 2, year 3?
Oh yeah. We planted trees right away.
Well, yeah, some trees we did.
Fruit trees but not in the orchard.
Yeah, but not really food forest.
No, but they were.
Yeah, we planted some fruit trees.
Fruit trees, right. And they're in the orchard area. So
Lazy Loper says, "Sorry, my phone is thinking for me. Happens to the best of us."
Yeah.
Yeah, Mary Michelle, how are you? Welcome in. Yeah. Let me see here. She says, "I think Squatchy is off in his days." That's that thing. Again, happens to the absolute best of us.
Hopefully he's not too many days off.
Plumber Mickey says, got snow earlier than expected here. Went to check the pond heater today and found a broom I missed on the pre-storm cleanup. Oh, it's like a bonus. Got a broom, right? Oh my goodness, look at that. All American preppers in the house. What is up, buddy? I hope everything is super well for you guys down there. And, I hope Mrs. Prepper's doing good just as well. And we'll have to get together and do a live or something, or a video sometime.
It has been a minute.
It's been a minute, but everyone's busy. I mean, it's just, we're racing every day.
Keep saying that. Yes.
And it's so crazy. Scott and I was telling you guys that I got to hang out with Scott today. We were talking a lot about all of the crazy stuff going on in the world, and how you would think it would motivate some people, and how it does motivate some people, and how a large percentage of the population, they're just, it's like if you really, I gave him this example, that if the Chinese troops were at the Mississippi and the Russian troops were at the Rocky Mountains, and where we were was just in the middle, right? And they hadn't gotten here yet, what would you be doing every day? Right?
Scrolling TikTok.
You would not be scrolling TikTok, right? You would get all the food in, get all the harvest you can get everything prepared. Are my fences secured? I mean, you'd be going through
cut boards for windows.
Yeah. Right. Cutting boards for windows. You'd be doing all of those things. But yet here we are today, and we're completely surrounded by an education system that makes us dumb, a food system that poisons us, a medical system that makes us dependent.
Yeah. And we're fighting about cereal.
Right. And it's just blows me away sometimes. But the other thing is everyone's at a different place in their journey, and you've got to be able to say, respect that, and keep that encouraging way and all of that. But anyway, super interesting. Let's see here. I am to understand from permaculturist there is a bush you can plant near or around fruit trees that deer don't like the smell of to deter them. I just don't remember the name. Need to look at the notes. Now, I am unaware of a bush.
There are several bushes that
I'm aware of lots of plants, not necessarily a bush.
Yeah, there are several bushes that I know. There's like a yellow one. Maybe it turns yellow like in the fall.
Mm-hmm. Dana says, so many people are sleeping, like my family. Yeah, Brett Boyd says, hey guys, hope you're doing well. Been crazy busy here. Boy, I get it. Yeah. Conserve Friend says, I watched Beck's first hour this morning. He predicts roaming brownouts by the 28th. I have been saying on this channel, you guys, for years.
What would be a roaming brownout?
So roaming brownout would be, okay, this part of Kansas don't get power from this time to this time. This time part of Kansas don't get power.
What's a blackout then?
That's where it's all out. Brownout's partial. It's like scheduled, because the grid is taxed, things like that. I've been saying for years that energy is where it's at. Energy should be, me and Mo had this, Mo engineer the other night, we were just chit-chatting on the phone late. And we were talking about ranking the importance of all of these things, water, food, shelter, when I started this whole journey, I would have told you that, water's probably number one, right? Well, probably air first, but water's number one, food's number two, or shelter's in there, in one of those numbers. But the longer I've lived this life, the more I realize I put energy number one. And Mo had been making the argument that you should put information number one, or at least should be up there. And so anyway, him or I were having the debate between information, which is knowledge, skills, right? All of those kind of things, and energy. But with energy, the thing about it is, guys, it's a force multiplier. If you have to carry every drop of water, you'll absolutely learn the value of it. Right. But if you have a machine, if you have technology that can move that water for you, that energy is then spent on other things.
Well, and then you can charge batteries. You can,
baby, we are a battery. And where do we want to use the energy of our battery? Do we want to use it carrying water? Do we want to use it chopping wood? Do we want to, or even better, let's do this. Let's use technology to do as many of the things that we can through energy. That way, the things we have to use our internal battery, right? Our energy capital for, we can use those things. But anyway, super great conversation that I had with Mo about that.
With Mo?
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, Ake Hammer says, yes, exactly, Tag. Yeah, it's just a big deal. And I'm telling you, if all you can afford, if all you can find is a small solar panel that can charge a battery, it is more than zero, right? It will help you communicate. It will help you gather information. It will help you do all of those things. Without energy, this would be one of my counters to Mo, right? Without energy, how do you get access to information? Right.
How do you communicate?
You already have what's in your head, but how do you get any more? How do you communicate? It's just energy to me is just number one. Dana Green says, then heard my nephew say, if something happens, I'm going to your house. What the F family for you? Yeah. I've told people who have told me I'm coming to your house. I always tell them, hey, make sure you water the plants because we ain't going to be there. Mo says the Death Star has a lot of energy, but knowing what port to shoot to destroy it is very important too. Mo could not help himself. I have some very good, deep conversations with Mo. There's probably not another one of my friends who have pushed me more intellectually, right? As we've gone down this crazy journey of what does freedom look like. Let's see here. It's a flat out no, and that's one for me, Dana. Oh, I'm sorry, they're talking to each other. My bad. Yeah. Let's see here. Squatchy says, how y'all made it? Thought today was Wednesday or Thursday. Well, but it's Friday.
Wednesday or Thursday.
That's a good way to say I had no idea what day
he's
it was.
Missing at least one day, possibly two.
Well, and then he was wrong on the third, right?
Wednesday or Thursday?
Right, because it's actually Friday.
Right.
Right. Don Odell says books. Great point, right? Having a library gives you access to information, right, without having to have energy. That's a great point. Absolutely great point.
Donna's badass.
RN says, that's okay, Pete. I thought it was Saturday. You guys are great. Absolutely great. Well, should we get to some pictures? Do you got anything on your list you want to talk about before?
No, let's do your
You
pictures.
get some pictures done?
Let's do it your way.
Yep. Hold on. Plumber Mickey says, at least Squatchy was in the right week. Well,
we don't know what week
how do you know
in.
that? How do you know he was in the right week? Because Friday happens every week. Just saying, Plumber Mickey. But anyway. So, my farm, it's been interesting lately. The deer have been getting closer and closer and closer over the years. I took some pictures yesterday that just blew me away. I'm standing at the front door of my shop. I'm standing right next to my truck. And if you look real close, there's 2 deer in that picture. There's actually a third that's right off to the corner. But they are literally standing. I mean, I could hit them with a Nerf ball.
So do you think that they jumped the fence right there on the west?
I watched them.
Oh.
And I stood
Did they
there.
hit the fence? Because there's part of the fence over on the west side that's like bent down at the top.
Yeah, I didn't see that. They jumped. What was so interesting to me is they knew I was there because I was talking to them like, hey, guys, what are you doing? You know, how's it going? I tried not to make a bunch of sudden moves so they would run off, but I sat there and just talked to them. And these handful of deer right here are becoming super friendly, like just super, super friendly.
They were all female, right?
Yeah, yes.
For the most part?
Yes, I didn't see any males.
So I was standing at the pod 4 door and I saw a couple of deer right there in the backyard as well.
Now, let me see here real quick here. Terminator says, B, I am still sorting seeds, but hopefully I will start my planning for my garden this coming spring. See, they're talking to Pete. Here you go. Packrat says pre-2020 reference books preserve you from AI generated rot that can be hazardous, especially about things like mushroom and plant ID. Mm-hmm.
Did you see that family of off-gridders that they had like a couple of kids and they ate some wild mushrooms and everybody got sick?
No. Yes, Squatchy. Today is Friday. Let's see here. Brett says, ran the number solar is a great backup, but it is no replacing carbon fuels. Not on a large scale. It's not, Brett. And I'd be the first to tell you that it doesn't scale well large. But I'm going to tell you for a homestead, for a family, solar will do everything you want it to do. There's nothing I can't do. I weld. I've been building a new front bumper for a truck, fabricated out of a bunch of leftover pipe out of B's stalls that that I made her. And I'm weld consistently out there. Now I wouldn't do it in an overcast day because it pulls big power, but in a sunny day, no problem. Right. Let's see here. Been getting closer to my house too. Had a buck last week stop about 80 feet away. The turkey came right to my door to complain. Yeah, see, I love that. I don't know why this is going on, but there are look there's another picture. See him standing right there. Let's see. I think animals are becoming more conscious like humans are. I have had really cool close encounters with animals this fall. I am getting more and more of them, and specifically deer. And, we don't bother them. And, B catches them out with the chickens and with the animals, and even the livestock guardian dogs don't bother them.
Yeah.
Which I think is so fascinating. How does a livestock guardian dog know that's not a threat? I don't have any idea. But
maybe they can smell the animal on him. Like a coyote. Maybe the coyote smells like
I don't know.
Dead rabbit.
Yeah, I have no idea. Let's see here. Terminator says, tag, we had a lynx on the camera my daughter has set up on the property. We've seen some bobcats. They say there's mountain lion out here, although I've never seen one. But see, Brett says, but the cost outruns production and solar tapers off over time. Okay. This is 100% true. And I'll tell anybody this. If you're going to go get a solar system with the idea that you're going to save money, it's a false idea. Don't even waste your time. If your motivator is to save money, don't waste your time doing it, because you're exactly right. This is me and Mo's talked about this a lot too. You buy the solar system, it takes 10 years to pay it off, let's say, for you to break even. But in that time of doing that, you're replacing a battery or an inverter or a charge controller or a panel or whatever, and you've got maintenance and all. That's not it at all. The reason why we go get, in my particular case, the reason why we go get solar is so that we don't have to be dependent on the system anymore. I have friends who say, man, tag, it must be nice to have free power. Well, it ain't free, it's prepaid.
Yeah.
There's nothing free about it. But what it does is it lessens my dependency on the system.
Right.
It allows me to have power even if the world says I can't. It allows me to charge a battery, or allows me to pump water, or it allows me to do those things in a world that says I've used my carbon credits up, whatever.
Right.
That's why I do it, you know.
And when there's power outages for whatever reason around,
Yep.
a storm or somebody hits a transformer or whatever, then we still have power.
Yep. Nito said we are doing just fine with our solar system. I know you are. Donna Odell says, well, when you plant food, the deer show up, always have. Your forest draws them in. Yeah, but it's been a little bit different. And maybe it's just they're getting used to us. Maybe that's it, Donna, and that'd be fair. But it used to be where they would be all the way across the other end of the pond, and we'd, you know, move a little bit and they'd run. But over the last 5 or 6 years, they've become, well, like what you see in the picture. They're right there.
Yeah, amongst our stuff.
Yeah, you know, I mean, they are right there. So maybe, I don't know. But you see, Plumber Mickey says solar pay up front, grid pay as use. Yep. And I just think that I would rather pay up front. You guys need to learn to eat free range deer. We will. We absolutely will. But Brett, I'm going to tell you something. I have a weird thing in me that says don't use up my own resources. And so, like, I don't cut firewood off my farm unless I'm clearing an area and the wood's down. If it's down, if it's dead, I'll cut it. If it's down, I'll cut it. But I use my relationships and those kind of things to attempt to go cut firewood somewhere else, because I'm trying to save my resources. Because you guys got to remember, I was a prepper first. So, like, I'm always thinking about that, you know. I'm always thinking about, you know, what's in 5 years from now or 8 years from now, you know. Yeah, Matt says, I saw a mountain lion on the south end of Garnett a few years ago. It loped across the highway right in front of my rig. Yeah, crazy. Oh, look at that. The famous Gratitude to Grace is in the house. And hi, Freeman family. Happy Friday. Well, happy Friday to you. Yeah, Mo says the main problem is you switch dependency from the power company to the inverter and battery company. Ultimately, you're still dependent. 100% agreed. But I'm not as dependent day to day.
And we're the manager.
And I'm the manager, right? I have more control on it. But here, what we're talking about, I think, is off grid and off matrix, right? Off grid, I'm not connected to the power grid. I don't get my electricity from them. I don't get my water from them. I don't get any of that stuff from them. What Mo's talking about is now I'm dependent on the battery and inverters, but it's no different than being dependent on the oil filter or the brake pads.
Yeah.
Or dependent on, you know, the chicken feed.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's why getting free is so hard. That's why when he said, hey, will you come on and talk about what it takes to get free? I'm like, he ain't going to get there. You can get close and you can pick which avenue you want to go. Right.
Or what's free to you.
Yeah. I'm way less vulnerable in a solar system because nobody can shut it off. Now, parts can wear out, but
our thoughts on that have changed over the years. Because before, when we were at the other house, we were like, oh, we just need to get to the farm, get solar.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we had gotten the solar, the first system,
Mm-hmm.
and we had a very small system.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, oh, all we need is just a couple more batteries.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, oh, all now we need is, and then it's, you know, just because it continues to, as you're learning, you continue to change what you're desiring.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey learning what I think freedom is today and what I thought it was when we started this journey are not the same thing. Oh, you learn it, right? Dana Green says, I think stepping down the dependence from the system means doing as much manual as you can, which isn't easy.
Yeah.
Got to be committed. Well, not only is it easy, it's got a lifespan, right? You cannot do that physical stuff like that for 150 years, right? I mean, there's going to come a point. So I think for me, Dana, what I do is I try to use the system to create systems here that are less dependent. You know, like I'm happy to use a tractor or a skid loader to create swells that I won't have to mess with again.
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of how I go down it. Right. Yeah. Nito says the deer feel safe on your farm. And there's another picture in here too. There's another one right there. Look at that. Let's see here. Squatchy says, kind of like tankless gas water heater I was going to install in our last house. Didn't make sense at the moment. would have had to upgrade pipes and other things. Gas was $30 a month. New system was over 4,000. Yeah, well, I think our on-demand hot water heater was $1,000. We've used it for 5 years here. We have a couple of them in the house and haven't really had any problem with them. And I have no gas bill anymore. Now I have a propane bill. But even in that, this is again back to Mo's point, right? I'm still dependent on the propane. Yeah, except I can store 5 or 6 years of propane up, which means, yes, in the end, I'm going to need propane, but it can't just be cut off for me, right? Yeah, Squatchy says has to make sense. Yeah. Donna says that's a great idea to not use your resources. We hunt around our property, but not necessarily on our property.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think it's save my resources for when the day I have to have my resources.
Yeah.
And just do the best I can in that. Yeah, Don Odell, I agree 100%. Scott says, get prepared, friends. Threat analysis has never, and I mean never, more in the red. We are focused on God, family, freesteading, and community. Never a better time in my life to get prepared. I agree 100%. And boy, is there stuff going on all over, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are, Europe, the head of the NATO and the United Nations said to the other members of Europe to prepare for war yesterday. Now, it could just be all fluff. Who knows? I don't have any idea, but yeah, definitely a great time to be prepared. Brett says, I'm not against solar. I have a hybrid system, the 1,000-gallon diesel system generator if I need, but solar is money. But you're right. They have no control as long as your money don't run out. Right. So it buys time. Maybe it's a Band-Aid, Brett. Maybe that's a good way to say it. Brett says, there is no freedom in this country. We talked about taxes. You rent your stuff. 100%. Yep. I agree with that 100%. And until we do, and I said this I put a post out on Facebook last week that said property tax and freedom cannot coexist. We can't be free as long as there's property tax, right? Because that means you'll never actually own anything.
Well, if they said you won't.
They said you'll own nothing and you'll be happy, right?
Yeah. I mean, people are going to start already. People are selling their houses because their taxes have gone up 100%. And they're like, we can't do this.
Yeah.
You got to get out.
Yeah. And this is why talking to that young man I was talking about, it's so hard because the hurdles just get bigger and bigger and bigger. The hurdles are harder today for someone trying to enter this life than they were for me when I entered it.
Yeah.
And the hurdles for someone trying to enter it in 5 years will be dramatically harder than those trying to enter today.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Nito says, so far we have a well, septic, solar, chickens, food forest, large garden, fine tuning those before adding any more items. Have a 16 by 60 greenhouse to get built for year-round growing. Look how far ahead that is, right? And Gratitude to Grace says, part of the path to freedom is using the resources available to you, but dependent on others to create a life that doesn't need them. Well said. Perfectly said. I would echo this completely. Use whatever resources, even for those of people who talk about, oh, I'm not debt free, or, I still have to work for the man. Yeah, but focus on it being a means to the end.
Right.
You're working for the man, you're working in the system, and there's nothing wrong with that. But instead of using those resources to go on vacation, to buy a latte, to have the newest iPhone,
$6 ice cream,
right? A $6 ice cream, use those resources to get out of the system. B and I get a lot of heat about this, about, oh, it must be nice you had money, blah, blah, blah. B and I sacrificed everything. I mean, it's a ramen life to come up with enough cash to pay cash for things. I wasn't going to borrow any money. And so you have to be willing to do those. You have to be willing to sacrifice the lattes. You have to be willing to sacrifice all these things if you have the life. If you want something that very few people have, you have to be do things that very few people are willing to do. Brett says barter. I'm not sure what that is, but let's welcome Lisa in.
Barter.
Oh, barter. Let's see here. That's another picture of a deer, huh? And B, I figured I concluded the picture of your bulbs because they were. You weren't telling them what you did with your bulbs.
Yeah.
Because I always buy B stuff like that, right?
Yeah. You got some, I don't know, maybe like end of the season sale or something, and brought them home, and they sat in the living room for a few
months.
Weeks.
Months. people
And
months.
I was waiting for the perfect opportunity to plant them. And what a better time than a 55-degree day in the middle of December.
Mm-hmm.
And then used my little auger tool there with
Mhm.
your drill and
Mhm.
planted them. And then I covered everything up with hay.
How many different types of flowers did you plant?
Well, you got like 7 different varieties of tulips.
Mm.
So the majority of them were tulips.
Okay, for all you girls out there, okay, you got to tell me in the chat, how many of you would be excited if your, I guess husbands too, how many would you be excited if your significant other brought you home dozens and dozens of bulbs just randomly one day? How many would be sad and how many would be happy? Tell me sad or happy, right?
Yeah. And then they're like, why didn't you get everything done that I wanted you to get done?
Well,
oh, these bulbs are still planting here. I guess I'll quit buying you stuff.
Well, do you think it's fair that I don't buy any more until the last stuff got dealt
I
with?
think it's fair that I didn't ask for more stuff to plant. And you're like, hey, let's get her off the couch. Let's get her in the field. How do we do that?
So you're saying that doesn't make you happy?
Bulbs. No, it made me happy. And you know what? When they're growing, they're beautiful. But it's not easy to be like, what are you doing? What'd you get done today? Did you get those bulbs planted? Well, I'm going to quit buying this stuff if you don't get this stuff planted.
Don Odell says Earthships saw a place in Arizona creating them. Yeah, I would really love to explore some of that stuff. I don't know how well it does here with the clay and, and the more humid climates and that. I'd have to do some more reading, but
is that what Billy did? An Earthship? Or is that out of tires?
Where am I at here? Okay, hold on.
Did you scroll fast?
Oh yeah, I'm okay. Sorry, let me catch up here real quick. Yeah, Brett says they can't tax barter. Well, they're trying to, and as soon as they go to a complete digital currency, they will absolutely tax any of that kind of stuff they can get their hands on. Now, I guess if it's just good for good, true barter, they wouldn't. But
unless they try to determine a cost on it, they're like, well, chickens are $30, and so you guys are going to pay 10% of that at least.
You're going to pay a tax on the feed you buy, or you're going to pay something. Packrat says fast from one or another of our grid tied system for a weekend to survey how much it will hurt if you have to do it for real. I love that. A citizen broadcaster said they'd be happy. Gratitude for Grace smiles. Don Odell would be happy. Right. Nito said I'd be thrilled. I'd go on a planning spree. Terminator said I'd be ecstatic. Scott says ecstatic. Amber says I'm doing.
What Scott say?
Ecstatic. I'm doing research. I think eventually I'm going to move someplace tropical, being out in the warm sunshine all the time before growing season fruit trees want to grow. Yeah, I think AK Amber, this is the only thing about that is those places that are nice year round, everybody wants to be at. And so I think you have to really think about your threat and needs analysis, your risk analysis, and say, do I want to be in population centers or close to population centers? Because even in the places in the mountains that get that, like let's say in California, how many people can reach me in a tank of gas would absolutely be a concern of mine in any of that kind of stuff. Yep, Dana Green said she'd love it. Jane Marie said she'd love it. Right. Brett says swap labor chickens, anything. I helped a friend process a deer last night and he handed me some loins. Love that. Half Bubble Off Plum says we call those happy gifts. You got a happy gift. We'll have to steal that. Unexpected and not asked for, but greatly appreciated. Yep, Northern Girl Hobby says happy. AK Amber says I agree with B. Dana Green says, are they crocuses?
There was one package of a crocus bulbs.
Lindsay Freeze, and hello, Lindsay, by the way, says, I would be confused because my hubby says I kill plants.
Here's some bulbs. What?
Yeah. Brett says, no tax on that, but feeds my family. Yeah, I love that. Gratitude to Grace says, the day before our first freeze, we planted 1,000 iris. Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Don Odell says, recycle materials and most gray water is repurposed inside the house. Oh, good for you.
Nice.
I did not know that. Good for you. Yeah, Dana Green said they'd be happy. Yes?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. I included this picture for you guys because this is the way we transfer animals into different paddocks.
With chairs?
No chairs. Those needed to go down to the community building. That's the community building for those who don't know, back in the background there. But this is how we get across roads. We build gate systems that close off the road or open up the road. And I just didn't remember if I'd ever showed you guys this. And when I was going through pictures for the live tonight, I thought, oh, I'll make sure I'll cover that. So this is going from paddock 1 into paddock 2. And so B can just leave that open if she wants them to graze into paddock 1. And then you have a similar system to go from paddock 1 to paddock 3 or paddock 4 or whatever it is. Again, it's energy management, right?
Yeah.
I think the ideal homestead, if you're building it or you're creating it, would be a pinwheel.
Yeah.
Right. And that from one center location with opening one gate, you can move them wherever you want. Them. Right. Again, low energy. Right. I think that's really, really, really important. Yeah. Let's see, where are we at here? Dana said, did you mulch? Yes, she covered everything in mulch. Right?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Brett says, Tag and B, you need to tell the deer ass, grass, or gas. Nobody rides for free. So give me your loins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to actually, Brett, and this might sound crazy to some people, I'm going to try to pet them. I'm going to try to build a relationship with them.
I tried to walk up to one and it started snorting.
Yeah,
so
I know.
I'm not, I don't want to get into that.
When you met me, I snorted.
Not like that. I was like, oh, you have a little baby. You're so cute. And then it started snorting and I was like, ooh, never mind.
Hey, Permatopia Farms in the house. Good to see you. Skanes girl, how are you? I've been thinking about you lately. I hope all is well. I hope to get to see you on Saturday. Bill Fallon says, howdy. Are you all on 2 platforms? A lot of comments aren't showing up on the live stream. You should see them on the live. I don't know why you wouldn't see them. Because Facebook, I'm only streaming to 2 platforms, Facebook and YouTube, and I'm seeing both sets of them. So maybe if you're on Facebook, you're only seeing Facebook's. Maybe if you're on YouTube, you're only seeing YouTube's. I see all of them, so I'm not really sure.
I haven't caught a live of somebody's.
But Bill Fallon, how are you? Good to see you. Let's see here. Yeah, and Starla Dope, you're never late. You are right on time. A wizard arrives at the exact time they intend. Let me see here. Munched and marked them so they wouldn't get trampled. What? Did I miss a comment up here somewhere?
Oh yeah, there you go. Oh,
yeah, got it. Sorry, I get
mulched him.
Oh, there you go. Mulched, not munched. I like munched much better. Munched is much better. Munched and marked them. I like that.
Munch them away.
That needs to be a t-shirt. Gratitude to Grace said, munch it. Let's see here. Anito says, oh my, just had quite the scare. Heard a bunch of sirens, saw the flashing lights, fire trucks with Santa on top and a police escort. Lisa says, I am not seeing the comments. So if you go up into the top right-hand corner, you might be on, like I can change it from all comments to highlighted comments to just questions. So go to the top right-hand corner and see what you see there.
Will it say?
Oh my goodness, look at that. Life with Mike and Jenner in the house says, good evening, went to see the Christmas lights.
Oh, nice.
Well, I am glad that you guys are here. I didn't think I was going to see you. I talked to your beautiful husband earlier, and he said you guys were going to be busy. Let's see here. Brett says there is no relations. They will eat you out of house and home. So cook. And they are Democrats, and they multiply faster than you can afford. It's come up with deer.
Yeah.
I want to see how friendly I can make them. Might not be a good idea.
I don't.
Yep. So let's see here. What else did I do? So I, sometimes in this life, you get this list of things that you want to do. And you've got this priority. But sometimes life changes your priorities.
Well, and sometimes it's not available.
That's what I'm saying. So like I have been wanting to put up cattle panels, for lack of a better word, on all of the stalls. And the reason I want to do this is to stop the animals, specifically the goats, the chickens, the turkeys, from being able to come through and access the barn. So this has been on my list for a while. I had B order the clips in order to put them on, all this stuff a while ago, but I didn't have the panels. And I didn't want to go buy retail because you guys have heard me say this on the live a million times. You can't live this life by paying retail.
Well, we were going to use cattle panels, and then the goats were like, "Oh, we'll just squeeze right
Squeeze
through
right
the
through
cattle
them.
panels," and we were like, "Oh, we don't like that."
Yeah. So I had a chance, had a friend of mine, another homestead buddy of mine, say, "Hey, I found this guy. He's getting out of the business. He's got this whole stack of goat and sheep panels because they're a lot smaller squares. If you want any." And so I got to buy them for about 50 cents on the dollar, and I bought enough. And so I've been working on getting the pens all wired in. Again, it's been on my list for a long time. I just didn't do it because I didn't have the material. And then a sale deal came,
Yeah,
which then was like, cool. So I'll do it.
yeah. That's sometimes it is, but we're waiting for material.
Yeah, quite often, right? Yeah, quite often. Let's see here. Brett said there's no relation. Oh, we already said that one. Sorry, guys. Let's see here. Nito said we have live chat on. Figured it must be we are not seeing the Facebook comments. Yeah, but here's the thing. If you're on Facebook, I could see it. Like I can tell the difference. Let me go back here real quick. 1, 2.
That's the same person.
Yeah, 2. So I think there's probably only 1 or 2 people in here on Facebook. Everybody else is here from YouTube. Yeah, let's see here. Already tried all comments. Still missing some. Maybe only see the YouTube ones. I don't know. Can you guys see the
Donna's?
Yeah, so Donna will be in here. Donna Odell will be in here from Facebook. Are you guys seeing Donna's messages? Someone let us know because I don't know how it works either. Yeah, Brett says, wow, nice paddocks. Yeah, these are the stalls that I built B last year. But they were just the slats. And so we had animals, coming in and out.
This will also help keep the hay in there.
Okay, got it. And then Donna, if you don't mind, do you see the YouTube comments on YouTube? I mean, on Facebook? Do you see them or do you just see you commenting? Because I can see them all. Anyway, that'd be interesting to know. But anyway, so I got that almost squared away. I've got 3 gates left to go.
And the goats do know. So when I brought the goats over to their,
there's the goat. See how the gates are done? Go ahead. So how was it?
They were fine until they realized that they can go down to the cow to Lady's stall and they can get in through there.
Mm-hmm.
So the little goats were like still in there. But it did stop a lot of the birds.
Mm-hmm.
My birds are lazy. They don't like to run or they don't like to fly. So they'll come to this fence and they'll just stop.
Okay, let's see here. Let me see what everyone's got. Mo said he's missing comments. Yeah, I have no idea why. Yeah, how are you? Says I often have to scroll to see comments. When you start chatting, it can fill up the window pretty fast. Mm-hmm. Yes, it does. Yeah, Donna says I'm not seeing everyone, but I'm listening anyway. Got it. Brett wants to know if you're milking the goats.
No, not yet.
Mm-hmm. Nathan says, I am not seeing Donna as I am on Facebook now and have followed you now that I know you are using that platform. Well, cool. Well, thank you for that. Oh,
so he can't see Donna.
Well, Donna said Donna just said she's seen Nathan. So that's interesting.
Huh.
Permatopia said, did you build all those gates and paddocks by yourself? So nice. Well, me and B did. And it's funny, the steel that's like you guys see the horizontal steel slats. I bought a pallet of that at an auction one day, super cheap. And with the idea that I build you.
I didn't think it was super cheap.
Well, it would have been retail. It was super cheap.
Right.
It was super, super cheap. Let's see here. Mo says, it is nice to see the comment on screen when you're addressing. Yeah.
Oh, so when you put the comment up.
Tag, you're the host, so you see everything. No pun intended. Yeah. Yeah, Nito said, I don't see Nathan either. I have no idea how it works. Lazy Loper says, our birds are a-holes. They are everywhere they shouldn't be. Yeah, and I think, again, let's use this time where we can still get stuff and we can go to auctions and let's just continue to build that infrastructure. Eventually I would like to take panels like this and go all the way up.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, because it's done, babe. It's done. Yeah. Right there. It's completely done. If
That's true.
Yeah, Brett said I can only see my talk. Weird. Well, you know what? I wonder.
You're special.
Here,
Oh, look at that.
so I just added the chat to the screen. I don't know if you guys can see that or if it's big
It's
enough.
tiny.
Tell me if you guys like that. If you guys like that view, I'll leave those up there. To me, I just didn't want it to be a distraction. So those metal panels are not cattle panels. No, they're actually made for sheep and goats. They're, because the square Mandy is a lot smaller. No. So Helen says, Helen Happy Harvest says, no. What does no mean? Does no mean you don't like that there? Bill Fallon, does that mean no? What does that mean? Like, give me a sentence so I understand distractions.
No, they're both saying no. So you must ask a question.
Yeah, you're saying it's not a distraction? Or no, it is
no,
a distraction?
You can't see it.
Or you can't see it? Right.
It's a distraction.
Distraction.
Don't like
Don't
it.
like it. Okay. I can certainly see it down in the corner, not overpowering. Don't like it. Okay. How about that? It's a distraction. Thank you. Okay. Anyway, let's keep going on. So first picture is we got
some brome,
some extra brome hay delivered because for the winter to make sure we have plenty to get through. I had a bunch.
We don't have brome on our yard.
No, we only have natural prairie grass, right?
Hay. So we had got a load of brome brought in.
Mm-hmm.
And we will put brome and prairie hay out.
Yeah.
Especially when it's cold.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. It's a distraction. I watched from YouTube and it's a distraction for me. Yad says, I like the screen comments. And Bill says, no, it's a distraction, too tiny. I think maybe it depends too on what you're watching it on. Like if you're watching it on a big screen or something, maybe it ought to be all right. But anyway, so we got a bunch of hay, extra hay, just to make sure that we make it all the way through.
Yep.
And then I'll pick those up with the skid loader or the tractor. And I'll deliver them whenever B needs it. The picture all the way on the right, a little pipe you see, and you guys remember how I told you that we lost water in the community building?
Yeah.
Well, what happened was right there at the outlet, it popped off. And so I had to excavate the other day, and I dug all the way down there, and I found it, and I repaired it with steel pipe.
It popped off?
Hmm?
It popped off?
Well, it snapped the brass collar that was in there. Just snapped it right into two.
It just broke.
And so, and I knew that there was a problem somewhere between where it entered the building and it left the tank. And I just had to go find it. Luckily, my first place I looked, I found it. I got it repaired. And so the good news is the community building now has bathrooms again. It has running water again. And just in good time too, because we've got a bunch of us are going to hang out tomorrow. And then next week on Saturday, my son and his band are going to come out and play music for a while. They're just going to practice that. We're not having a bunch of people over, although everybody's welcome, but that's what they're going to be doing.
You won't be able to talk. It's so loud.
It's so loud, yeah.
The neighbors even comment.
Let's see here. Permatopia says, what is brome? Brome is just a different type of grass, basically. Mm-hmm. And the cows love it. And so around here, you can buy,
protein count.
It's higher protein, right? You can buy brome, you can buy alfalfa, or you can buy prairie grass. That's pretty much what we get out here.
Yeah.
And this particular farmer is a good place. They don't spray. It's a good place to get it from. And I just wanted to make sure we make it. I'm big on that kind of stuff. Again, you guys remember I was a prepper first. So I encourage B, would you use the right words, encourage, but to stock up on feed?
Yeah.
Because I'm on you about it a lot.
Yeah.
Get enough to get through the winter, So.
And you got to guess because,
I got to guess.
Yeah, you're like, get enough what you can get through winter. And then it's like last year I got plenty and I had extra of the sweet feed or all stock, and it molded because it was in the barrel.
Too long.
The barrel was on the concrete. Mm-hmm. The concrete stays a different temperature than the ambient, and it sweated and it molded. So.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a gamble, but you just got to do the best you can do. And you got to learn it the best you can, you know? Is everybody getting a bunch of dating site pop-ups? I have no idea because I don't see that, but that's ridiculous. Let's see here.
You don't get any pop-ups.
Yeah, well, it's because I'm on a whole different platform, babe. I'm not on YouTube or on Facebook, right? I'm on a streaming platform that I use to do these. That's why we don't see them. Let's see here. Where are we at here? I see everyone on chat on my phone and on my flat screen TV. If I want to see comments on my screen TV, I have an option to put them on my TV. Oh, cool. So where is the option to put them on your TV? That'd be good for people to know.
Oh, probably.
Half Bubble Off Plum says, how much do those bales or rolls weigh? 1,200 to 1,400 pounds per. And we have 5 cows, and they'll go through a bale.
A month.
A month, maybe.
Well,
3 weeks.
I don't know, because that last brome, the very first brome bale that Mike put in there, they stood there. They would not leave the bale, and it was gone in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It was gone.
Mm-hmm.
They were even like nibbling a little bit all over the yard, trying to like get the last little bit up.
I would love someday to get to which something I was thinking about was you were making our list, didn't make my list or probably make your list either, but building those hay stations, where they can't tear it up quite so bad.
Well, I put hay area.
Oh, did you? Okay, that's what you meant.
So,
okay. Pack Rat says broom, sedge, blue stem. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mo says, do you tarp the bales? No, you don't tarp the bales. As long as they sit just like you see them, you don't have to tarp them. Now, if you lay them on your side where the water can penetrate in there, you do. But the way they're rolled like this, the water sheds really well off of them. So I don't tarp any of them. I use them in the order in which I get them.
I did do big blue and little blue. And
you did?
Gamma, yeah.
Okay.
We seeded the 3 fields, which was about 6 acres. And we put big blue and little blue.
I'm glad B knows what the heck's going on.
There was some others, but Gamma was in there. I can't think of the others though.
Yeah, our extension office, you can rent their seeder.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's badass.
Yeah.
It has like discs, and then there's like a wheel that rolls behind it, and so the disc rolls forward, and then the wheel rolls right on top of where it was just at. So it's disking, it's planting, and then it's covering and rolling over the same spot.
Are you rolling them out to get the regrowth on your pastures? What do you mean by rolling them out?
So some people, like when like that goat field down the road, they take a bale to the top and then they'll roll it out. And I think a lot of that is to allow a variety of animals to get to more of it instead of it just standing at one spot the whole time and pooping and peeing in one spot. But no, we leave it in one spot.
Helen Happy Harvest says, YouTube on my TV gives me an option on the right-hand corner, and you can click on it. That'll let you see the comments. All right. If you guys remember, I was telling you I was working on a paint booth at a buddy's shop so that we can paint my truck. I've been working on restoring a truck for multiple years now. Can't wait to get it done. It's going to be my new farm truck, and it's a 1973 crew cab 1-ton Chevy, and I've completely gone through it, redone. There's not an old part on it, not one. I mean, there's not an old bolt on it.
You had a windshield wiper come in the mail today.
That cool. So anyway, but we needed a paint booth to paint it in, and so instead of renting one, we just built one. And so this is our what's actually not mine, but our paint booth where we can. We can get in there and
paint your fenders.
Get in there and try to paint and do all of that kind of stuff.
You can fit a whole car in there? Or is this for fenders?
Oh, no, you can fit a whole car.
Door jam.
That's 14 by 24 feet long. There are a lot of alfalfa fields around. They are square bales that are almost 200 pounds. They are kept covered. All square bales
have to be
covered, as I understand it. Brett says Joe Salatin would be disappointed. He might be. One of the problems, Brett, is just time for everything.
Yeah.
Right? Lindsay says we have ours in a hay ring because longhorns love a new bale of hay. They will wear large chunks as a hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have hay rings too, but it seems like to me they get up on them and they still pull that bale apart. So and it might be one of those things like a fishing lure designed to catch fishermen, and it won't work. But I've been trying to just research how I can control that better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Donna Odell says those bales are so tightly rolled that to put them out when they burn, we have to unroll them watertight, smolder for a while. What else do we got going on here? Oh, our bathroom in pod 4. So guess what? B did the grout. So she grouted that, and she grouted the walls. Right. So my house for the first time has 3 working bathrooms. We've had 2 for a while, but now we have 3. Helen Happy Harvest says, I love cedar wood and the smell of it. B and Tag, do you like cedar wood and do you have any? I have a ton of it. I have it in my house. I have it on the ceilings of half my house. There's a big cedar pole log that holds up my staircase in my bedroom, right?
Yeah, the closets upstairs.
Yep, closets are cedar. Yep, super, super cool. Let's see here. Skane's Girl says, I need to paint some bed rails. Y'all renting it out for an hour yet? Oh, yeah, we can make that work.
The paint booth.
Yeah, we can make that work. Gypsy says, we have 1,200-pound square bales of alfalfa. Yeah, and those have to be in a barn. One of my goals is to get B a place to store hay inside so we can, do some of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Like Jeff's. Yeah. He like his upstairs. Well, it's not upstairs, but it's on the barn, but it's above the barn, above the, well, it's in the barn, but above the barn.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you guys a little trick. And this is actually, I would imagine a professional tiler would not tell you this. I've laid a lot of tile. I've laid a lot of tile in my life.
Uh-oh.
No, the reason why you use small tile on a floor like this, there's this is the easiest way to tile a floor is small tiles. And the reason this is because unless the concrete is perfect, right?
Oh.
Okay. What happens is you put these big tiles on a floor that isn't perfect, and I'm not a good enough concrete layer to make everything perfect.
Yeah.
That then they want to teeter-totter, which is what causes them to snap. When you use small tiles, it better flows with the unperfect contour of a DIY floor, which I didn't do it all myself. And I can lay concrete, but I'm just not perfect at it. And so by using little tiles on the floor, you get to kind of hide your lack of being a pro. Did I say that right?
Yeah. I like the little tiles.
Thank you. They're beautiful. Love the colors. Yep. Great job. Thank you. Gratitude to Grace says our shower gets tiled this week. I started grout on the floor today. Good for you. Also, Nito says makes it less slippery. Also true. The little tiles. Yep. Huh. A little more expensive to do it like this. Like these are probably $5 a square foot to do it like this versus I could have bought big, or square tiles for, let's say, $2.
Thank goodness it's a small bathroom.
A square foot. Yeah. You guys want to see something funny? Anybody notice what's funny in this picture? Because there's something really funny. I put the sink in and the toilet in, by the way. Right? So we actually have functioning bathrooms. Do you see what's funny in that picture?
Something that, like the hole in the sink?
No.
Like the third hole on the top of the sink? Is there something else?
Yeah, the faucet I bought only had 2 spouts. And it needed 3.
And the sink has 3 holes.
The sink has 3, so now I got to go find a new faucet. Ugh.
We have the worst luck with faucets.
Helen Happy Harvest says, even if you use wire mesh under the large tiles Tag, yes, because again, those big tiles make the assumption your floor is perfectly flat. And so any change at all, they're ceramic. And ceramic, many of you guys know this, is super strong, except it's super brittle. So it doesn't do well, it will just crack super, super easy if you don't get it super flat. So Mandy said, oh, I thought you used pennies for floor tile.
Pennies?
You know what's funny about that? I tried to talk B into let me use pennies for the backsplash at the community building.
Yes.
She's like, no.
I was like, no.
Brett says high protein bales for your goats or milk cows makes money sense. I agree with that. Yeah, and Jen says soap dispenser, which is that's what I told B.
But see, he says that it would have to be on the left-hand side, Jen. The soap dispenser would have to be on the left-hand side because of how the sink is and all of the things underneath the sink. And I was like, no, I don't want a left-handed soap dispenser
What does it matter?
because you turn on the faucet with your right hand.
What if you're left-handed?
You're not.
Yep. Don Odell says, soap pump for the extra hole. Yep. Yep. Helen Happy Harvest says that bathroom looks gorgeous, B. Yep. We actually have another functioning bathroom. I'm super excited.
Yep.
Instead of finding a new faucet, why don't you look for a soap dispenser? This is what I said, everybody.
On the left-hand side, though, anybody think that the left-hand sided soap dispenser would be an issue? You're going to be like, well, we got to cross over. I got to cross over. I got to get the soap over here.
Oh, great question. So Loper wants to know why you tiled behind the vanity. So the reason I tiled behind the vanity is because if you notice that's a regular sized vanity. It sticks out more than I want. So originally I wanted to go to a small sink, like instead of a 2-foot wide sink, a 1-foot wide sink, because it would tuck in there and it would make it a lot better. And so as we get older, the opening for the shower is perfect for a wheelchair, but that sink basin's a little bit big. And so I may decide to change it at some point. So because I may decide to change it, I wanted to
like
put
a
the tile,
pedestal sink.
to put the tile behind it, so that whatever I went to, I was squared away. But typically I wouldn't tile behind it. But in this particular case, I did.
You don't normally tile behind him?
Not normally. Install a dish rinser in the extra hole. Luxury.
In the bathroom.
That's right. And who else would have a dish rinser in their bathroom? Like, we would be the only one.
Yeah.
I agree. Pack rat for the win. Theo said, I'm ambidextrous, so it doesn't matter to me. Can you just get a chrome plug for the hole? I could. And for me, that would be perfectly fine. But what B would say is the faucet's offset in the sink, which is also what you said.
Yes.
Right?
It looks like a kitchen sink. It's like a big old.
Right. Conserve friend says, so the faucet's off center, huh? Correct. Yep. Hey, Buck Elf, how are you? Says, hey. Hug, snug. 5 ups and all. I don't even know what that says, but hey. Donna Odell says, nope, auto dispenser for soap would be cool. I agree.
An auto dispenser.
Puck Elf says, I met a friend who has a tiny caravan, but has built a full bathroom into it. It's not road worthy, but is impressive as a little house.
It's not.
Yep.
It's not road ready.
It says it's not road. That's what it says. I didn't read them, babe. Yeah. Bathtub, shower. You see, Bill Fallon says ours is on the left-hand side, but we're just backwards. Dana Grease says, I vote soap dispenser. Yeah, but Helen says tile behind sink is cleaner and keeps it waterproof from damp humidity. In the long run, it's better. Squatchy says just put a toothbrush cup over the hole. See, Squatchy's my kind of guy. I agree with this.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with this. Nito said, what about switching the faucet to the left 2 holes and open up the right-hand side for soap? Okay, this is what B said, but here's the problem, because if you look at the front of that vanity, let me get rid of this comment, see if I can show you. So if you look on the front of the vanity, on the left-hand side, there's a cabinet door. On the right-hand side, there's 2 drawers. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so when I move the faucet to the other side, it makes the connection not as clean. It's just not as good. And I run into the drawers and it's just a mess. So I would rather just go get a new faucet if that was my choice.
Yeah. The drawers would make it harder to try to fill the soap dispenser.
Yeah, it would.
The soap dispenser would be behind the drawers.
Yes, if you switch those 2 over.
Yes.
And so B would be in there trying to do that. Puck Elf says, I have a head injury. I miss spaces and letters. It's okay, man. We'll just, you know what? I like comments like that. It gives us something to laugh at. So just don't change. Just be you, Puck Elf.
I love it.
Brett says, Tag, you better fill the hole or rot will set in the same in marriage. Faucet not in middle would drive me crazy, says Rhonda. You got to support her.
Off to the side.
Yep. Yeah, Brett says, if it's wet, fill it. Add an emergency pump handle tap that Hust has a hose under the sink so you can run a water jug for it if you have to unplug for a bit. Yeah, Helen says, correct, B. Nita says, oh, well. Skane says, I say run a clear tube out of the hole and have goldfish in it.
What? Clear tube out of the
Yeah,
hole?
make a fish tank on top of it so the fish can swing down enough. Now, if that doesn't tell you how redneck Skane's girl is, I don't know that anything will.
That's the bathroom fish tank.
Mo says spray hose for those dirty, dirty nights.
I don't spray
If
nozzle.
pump needs repairing, fill the hole with a pump handle tap for a water jug under the sink. See, that's actually a pretty smart idea right there. You understand what he's saying? Put a jug, assuming the water got shut off. If you didn't have water,
Okay.
you could put a jug up underneath there and run a hand pump out of that, so you could and still wash your hands. So this is redundancy,
That's true. But,
right?
But
Puck Elf, you must be a prepper first. Yeah, right. There you go. Puck Elf says, one is none and two is some. And in B's world, three is a spare. Nope, you fill the dispenser from the top. So it doesn't matter if it's back there behind the drawers.
how do you fill it from the top?
It sits in and it screws into the bottom, and you take the top off and you fill it this way. And then you put the top back in.
Oh, the one in the other house, I had that take off, didn't I?
I don't know.
I thought we had to take it off from underneath.
Packrat says maybe one of those fast food gooseneck mics to get the house intercom in case you run low on TP. Little help. Yeah.
Dinner's ready.
Puck Elf says you can use the pump hand in the bottle of soap as a soap dispenser. Yeah, Puck Elf says, yep, van lifer for a few years now. Oh, yeah. And so in a van life, you're really using space, right?
Yeah.
Actually, that's a really smart idea. I actually like that a lot. What is going on right there? There we go. Let's see here. It has a hole in it. I'll put something useful in it. Yep, I buy that.
Find something.
I buy that. All right. Moving on, because it's an hour and 22 minutes and another live that I may not get too much of the good news. But anyway, Freeman Festivus, January the 3rd. Just reminding everybody, everybody's welcome. We're going to have us a great time. Really, we're just going to hang out and eat and do our thing.
Yeah.
But Puck Elf, if you ever find your van anywhere near us, make sure you stop by and we'll at one of our festivals or something. It'll be a good time. Last week when we were talking, we said that we were going to cover our 2025 goals, right?
Oh.
How we did on our 2025 goals and some of our goals for 2026. Oh, Puck Elf says, I'm Aussie, but cheers, folks. Yeah, it'd be a long drive from there, wouldn't it, buddy? Yeah, all good. Anyway, so I thought I would cover this with you guys. Now I'm going to open this up for just a minute to a full screen so that you guys can see it a little bit better. So if you look at the first column, these were our goals for 2025. And we combined them and then kind of put them in order. And what we talked about was that we were going to work on and get Pod 4 done, that we were going to build a new barn and a community building. We wanted to get paddock number 2 and 3 built. We wanted to do spring cleaning. B wanted to expand her gardens and add some swells in the food forest. I needed to get firewood put up. I wanted to build a firewood shed, a rooster run, an implement shed, or a brooder shed. Now, guys, I understand I was never going to get to all of these, right? This is just about us having goals and setting them out there. We wanted to expand the bees. I wanted to finish the dock, build the road to the community building. I wanted to mill the lumber, expand the orchard, build the dog den, complete the shop, the butcher shop, the master patio, the processing kitchen, repair the rainwater, winterize the turkey coop, install the burn pit, clean the community area, install a cow kitchen, finish pond number 3, winter, get the winter water in, put some privacy tree planting in, gutters, and the block walls out front. What we got done, though, So if you guys look at the green is what we actually got done in 2025. The yellow got some of it done, and the red, we didn't get any of it done. So we got pod 4 is mostly complete. The barn is complete. The community building is complete. Paddock 2 is complete. Paddock 3, 2 sides are fenced. So that's not done. The gardens we did, the swells we did, the food forest and the firewood we did. I did not get a firewood shed built. I did not get a rooster run built. I did not get the implement shed built. I did not get the brooder shed built. We did get the new turkeys. Got some of the lumber milled, half the road to the community built. We did expand the orchard. We did build the road to the bees. Did not get the dog den done. Did not get the shop, the butcher shop, the patio, the processing kitchen, or get the rainwater finished. What else did we do? We did get the community area cleaned up. We did get pond number 3 built. We did get the winter water in. We did get the privacy tree planting in, and all the block walls done. So that's our summary of 2025, what we got done and what we didn't get done. So B and I thought we would for 2026. She did her goals. I was not involved in her setting her goals. I did my goals. And so I thought we would spend, well, probably the rest of the time that we have here tonight talking about what our goals are for 2026. And then we'll, at the end of the year next year, we'll come on and we'll share with you guys what we actually got done and what we didn't get done. So the next 3 columns, the first column is my goals list in order. The second column is B's goals list in order. And the third column is that combined, when I combined them, what we should actually be working on. And so we'll see how well we do. So I thought B and I would just talk about it a little bit. So both of us agreed that pod 4, we've got to get done, right?
Yeah.
We've got the bathroom done. Everything's painted.
1 coat.
1 coat. She's got
a second coat.
Yep, I need a second coat in the closet.
Peeling in the bathroom.
Yep, I got all the trim on. So I'm really pretty much to flooring. Is a big one, right?
Flooring.
I've got 1 door to build and pretty much into flooring. So I'm hoping we can actually maybe get that done before 2025 is even up. We'll see. It's time's ticking, right?
Yeah. And we have a Festivus and we have Christmas and we have New Year's and we have family time
but it's holiday season. Things slow down. We should have more free time.
Free time to what? Because like animals still need to be, the stuff, the stuff doesn't stop.
No, but how long does it take you to do floors every day?
It just depends.
Give me an average.
An hour.
Okay. So there's 23 hours left.
That's one thing.
Right. All I'm saying is the animals are a small piece.
I know, but there's a compounding problem.
Yeah.
It's all the other stuff that goes along with it.
Oh, let's see. What's Puck Elf say here? Puck Elf says you need to get Eld built windmill. Yeah, we've talked about putting a windmill in. Not on my list, but so let's talk about what Tag wanted to do. So this is for me in order is to finish pod 4, and then I put firewood number 2 because it has to get done. We heat primarily with wood.
Yeah.
So I have no choice, even though it would not be my top of what I want to do, it's what I have to do. Number 3 for me was to finish my truck. Instead of buying a new truck, which is what I had done for years and years, every 5 or 6 years, I just go buy a new truck. I decided this time I'd build one. And so I've been working on it. I'd really like to get it done. It's towards the top of my list.
How long have you been working on this truck?
4 years. A little here, a little there, Let's see here. What next was to build a new bed because we're closing in on pod 4. I'm going to build a bed for B and I in our new bedroom. And so I want to build it. Now, if you guys remember from previous videos, I've already built it. But what I need to do is I need to sand it, finish it, right? I need to do all the finish work to it. It's out in the building waiting to happen. Next for me was I want to get power in the barn and the rainwater system working in the barn because right now the barn's using our well. And for me, our well is for B and I. It's not for the animals, although we use it when we have to. I'd really rather that all be coming from rainwater. I have a 3,000 gallon tank in the barn. I just have to hook it all up. And so I've got that on.
We got to come up with a way to try to get that in a, I don't know, use Jeff's idea and build a greenhouse off the side or something so that we can prolong that because to have that big of a tank in there and only be able to use it
10 months.
Yeah. I think is.
Yeah, but I think if we could use rainwater for 10 months in the barn and you're down to the well for 2
It
months,
wouldn't even be 10 months because I mean you have me drain it in like October.
this year.
October,
Yeah.
November,
So even
December,
if
January, February. That's 5 months out of the year.
There you go. Squatchy says Loper and I want to know who has time for spreadsheets.
Yeah, Tag's been working on this all week.
Yeah. Let's see what else. There's some other things on my list. Is the food forest fence in paddock number 3. We're actually going to do the food forest fence, I think, next week because we're going to get into the 50s. And so B and I are talking about
if we don't get it done, then the rabbits are just
Right.
going to kill everything
Yep.
that's in there.
I'd like to get a cooler built and build a butcher area so that it makes processing a lot easier, right? Because processing is becoming a bigger and bigger part of what we do.
Well, and it's becoming a bigger and bigger issue every time we go to the butcher. And then I'm like, wait, that's the brisket? That's crazy that
Yeah.
the brisket is the size of your hand.
Yeah, we need to just take care of it for ourselves.
Well,
need to
then
get
at
the
least we can look
infrastructure.
at it and go, well, that's the brisket.
Paddock number 3 would be big because right now I only have 2 paddocks. The other ones aren't completely fenced. Now paddock 3 has 2 sides done. I need to do the other 2 sides. So that would be a pretty easy one to get done. I'd like to get that done. Rooster run, again, getting a place for the roosters to grow so that we can grow them, right? For our meat, I think would just be great. And it wouldn't take me a lot to do. I just need to find the time to go do it. Funny story, 4 years ago, I found an automatic gate opener and closers for 2 gates at an auction. It's been sitting in a box
I
for,
think we
for
bought
4
that
years.
before we bought the property.
Yeah. So it's been sitting on a shelf forever. I want to get it in, but I didn't install it because I've always wanted to rebuild my front entrance. I put it up at a time where we were just trying to shut everything down. But for me, now that I have time, if I want to move it back, there's just some changes I want to make. So I didn't want to install it and then have to uninstall it and then reinstall it. But I'd really like to get that done. So that would include building the new entrance. I want to expand the playground in the community building and give the kids more things to do. Let's see here. The barn needs a feed room. I need a lockable feed room that will help keep the rodents and the animals out of the grains. We store them in big 55-gallon drums now, but I would love to have that stuff kind of locked up and closed up. I'd also like to be a milking station because we'd really like to start milking. Let's see here. I got to expand the orchard. I want to finish the RV pad. I have a pad down by the community building that has water to it and power to it that we could easily put an RV on because we get so many visitors. I'd like
How are you
to.
going to put water to that?
I already have it to it.
It's just underground. What are you going to do? You can stick a hose on it?
Well,
How are you going to
Yeah.
do that? You have phosphorus hydrant?
no. First, what I would do is I just run it up to a temporary with a faucet so people could use it. But ultimately, I'll run it to a pressure tank and a whole system so there's hot water and
Yeah,
there's
but
all
that'll
of
have
those
to
things.
be inside.
Yeah.
You can't do that
Yeah,
outside.
I'd have to build something at some point. Let's see here. I want to expand the bees. I would like to finish the patio. I would like to build a fuel storage area. So my big gas tanks and diesel tanks are on my property line. And I don't like that because I learned a hard lesson when my neighbor started his field on fire and I had 3-foot tall flames under both my big gas tanks. I want to move them to a place where that can't happen anymore. And, I'd really like to get there. Also, once I get the new entrance in, I can make it to where the deliveries and stuff can only come in so far, but can't get all the way onto my property, which is where I would like the drop-offs and the fuel and everything to be delivered. And then, you and I can deal with it later. What else? I would love to get the stage built so we could have live music at the community building. I'd like to get some landscaping done. I'd like to get the dock finished. I'd love an implement shed where I can put all my implements for my skid steer.
Yeah.
I would like to figure out the hay issue, which is, how do we get the animals to eat more of it and waste less of it? Right.
Yeah.
I'd like to figure that out. I want to complete my wood shop and a firewood shed. I want to build a back entrance to the community building so that the community building entrance isn't coming down my driveway. It's coming in its own entrance. And the road's already there. I just got to gravel it. The problem is it's $20,000 of gravel. So to get it all the way over there. So that's just a money equation. I would like to finish my maintenance shop. I'd like to double my propane capacity, and I actually put the Wallapini on the list. This is the
Did
first year the
ya?
Wallapini has made the list.
Yeah, but it's number 39.
Well, it made the list. Lindsay said, I love a good spreadsheet. The follow through is the hard part.
Yeah.
We just swing at it. And just like you guys look at our list, some of it we got done, some we didn't get done, right? And it's okay. We just, off we go, right? Puck Elf says, in Australia, we haven't lambs just before they breed at about 2 to 3 years old, but not mutton, not French yearling style. Jen says, Mario and I need to bring the panels, probably bring the panels would be my guess. Helen Happy Harvest says, gravel road to bees. I don't like gravel because weeds grow so much. Yeah, well, here's the thing. You put the right gravel and the right base on, you won't have any weeds. Like our driveway, we have a great driveway. And what a lot of people don't know is it's a huge base of gravel, right?
Yeah.
That we beat in over the years.
Yeah.
Squatchy says, I love the auto gates. Put that auto open loop in the ground, 4 on the way out and 1 on the entry with a timer. Yeah, I was the system that I have has these little tabs, I don't know, for lack of a better thing, that you actually put in your car. And when you pull up, it senses it and just opens for you. And then there's a keypad coming back in if someone, that doesn't have one of those. Helen says, make a concrete road, less maintenance. Oh, yeah, but big money.
Ooh.
Right. Do you have a master plan for how you want the homestead to ultimately look? I do. Maybe I'll share them one of these days. I've got a lot of maps that we've drawn out. And I've had some help from some of my friends in permaculture world, right, to help design some of it. So, yes, we have an absolute long-term plan. Puck Elf says it depends on your soil type if you concrete or gravel. Yeah, I'm clay, heavy clay. We've got a little bit of topsoil and pretty much everything else is clay. Even if they did concrete or tar it, we would never tar it because to me, that's poisoning your ground. So I wouldn't tar it, but it has to be worn in with gravel first for stability, called aggregate. Yeah. Squatch said, we need to make a list and put on a spinning wheel and where it stops, what we do. I actually like that. You know what though? Sorry. One thing about that though is sometimes what you do is dictated by, not sometimes, often it's dictated by money.
Yeah.
Where do you get material from? If I go to an auction, we've got 2 auctions coming up, and I find a bunch of X.
Right.
That would move one of these items up.
Right. That's why the barn got the
Right.
stalls. And
Right.
then
Right. If I found a bunch of tin, for example, I may push up a firewood shed or an implement shed because I just bought a bunch of tin. Right. So that really has a lot to do with it. I'm falling way behind. Let's see here. Yeah, Wallapini. Clay needs gravel or putting else on it will wash out. Yeah, I'm just going to use gravel. Tag, what do you put underneath before laying your gravel? Well, I don't put anything. I put big rock. So I'm going to put, you know what, I should, people can't see me. Anyway, I'm going to put about.
You're trying to use your hand.
Yeah, I'm showing, like I'm talking to you guys with my hands and you guys can't even see.
You do like 3-inch
Here,
rock
I'll go back.
and then.
I'll go back to it. Oops, not that one. How about we'll do that one. So I'll put, big rock, 3-inch rock down, and then I'll spread that out, and then we'll just beat it in the ground and beat it in the ground and beat it in the ground and beat it in the ground. And then come back behind that with a 3/4-inch rock, right? And beat it in the ground. Now, I do have many friends around here who use that fabric up underneath and who swear by it, but I just have a really hard time seeing how it doesn't slip around. But that might just be me, right? Nothing Clay is road base. He has that. He says, just get it rolled flat first. Yeah. Well, the other one lesson that I've learned in building road is that if you keep it at the top of the hill, it's a whole lot better. Yeah. 3-inch minus then 3/4. Yeah. That's what we did. Conserve Friend says asphalt millings from roads that are being resurfaced can sometimes be had for free. Yeah. And I just have a hard time putting that oil and that petroleum on my ground.
Yeah.
I just really don't want to do it. If Skanes Girl says I need to go to the auction. Everybody needs to go to the auction. So
you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah. Let's talk about B's goals and we'll see how close we are. Now, we did not collaborate on these in any way, which I thought that would be good. So
my list is shorter.
Yeah. Her list is 26 items. Mine was 40. She says Finish the food forest fence, which we're going to do next week. Finish pod 4, spring cleaning, expand gardens, expand orchards. Paddock number 3. Finish the community building bathrooms because they're operational, but they're not finished. And then stretch and relax more.
Yeah.
So a couple things I found interesting about that is her number 8 was stretch and relax more, which means she's looking forward to relaxing, but only after those first 7 things are done.
Yes.
Which
Well, there's certain things that like we should do, and then there's some things that I'm like, you know what? We go.
Mhm.
Like we rush from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, and you know, just like our to-do list, just like our goals, some things don't get done.
Mhm.
And so I think that, you know, let's watch a movie once. Let's take a nap. I don't remember the last time I had a nap.
Well, what's so interesting about that to me is you put, like, let me give you an example. Expand the orchard ahead of firewood. We have to have firewood. We don't have to.
Yeah, but we have firewood.
We're going to burn it this year. There ain't going to be any left.
That's true. Don't we have some cut somewhere else? That's not usually my.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, I got the firewood fairy down pat. They're out there cutting for us right now.
No, I mean, I thought we
now.
had like mountains of firewood cut somewhere, just like stacked.
Oh yeah, there's just mountains of it out there.
Mountains.
You just don't worry, your pretty little thing. That just don't worry about it. You just
stretch and take a nap.
Just stretch and relax, and I'll take care of the firewood. Oh my goodness! Do you guys see what world we live in? Who wants to live in Bee's world? Cotton candy, rainbows, and fairy farts.
Stretching.
Oh my goodness.
Relaxing.
Oh my goodness.
And expanding the orchard.
Nito said, we weren't ready for the greenhouse, but I found one last summer on Craigslist, brand new, that was half the price of a retail purchase. Couldn't pass it up. Yep. And that drives a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
And which I think you just have to be willing to move and, you know, bounce around to it. Between chores and fixing stuff, not hard to be super busy. No, it's not. Mo says movies and naps are not on the list. Yeah, they're on B's list, Mo.
Mo.
Yeah.
We're just asking for a nap.
Puck Elf says, I used to be a wood splitter. Now I just teach people technique and get minions to do it. I like that. Gratitude to Grace said, catch a 20-minute nap when you can, makes the rest of the day more enjoyable. I agree. Absolutely agree. I think
I'd like to try that.
You know what you need to try is don't fiddle fart as much.
You're
focus on it, hammer it out, and then go take your nap.
You're like, you're fiddle farting. I'm like, no, I have to lay something out for dinner.
No, but babe, I love my wife. You guys all know this, and I love you.
There's 19 little things that you don't even know happen.
Yeah. Except I watch it, and I watch you say, I need to lay something out for dinner. Oh, this is the firewood.
Oh my gosh, I gotta change the laundry.
I gotta go do this, and then
because it all has to be done.
Yeah, I'm not gonna win this.
I went in there to go to the freezer and realized that there were clothes in the washer. I can't just leave it because it wasn't on my, to do right this second. No, it has to be attended to.
Okay.
You can't just okay.
Is the magic firewood like the magic laundry basket?
Yes.
Yes, it's exactly like that.
Except the firewood, when it gets brought up in crates, and then I have to bring it in. So
what you're saying is just magically these big crates of firewood just show up at your back door?
They're just always back there.
Man,
they're just always there.
The firewood fairy rocks.
It's like socks.
For any of you guys who don't own a firewood fairy, you need to get one. It's good advice.
And a laundry fairy and a dishes fairy.
Puck Elf says preparation is key to a victory. Yep. Scan Girl says, I agree about rest. I feel like the Walking Dead. I know that feeling, right? Yeah. Lindsay Freeze says, I agree. Just take the nap. An occasional nap is great for mood and health. The chores will still be there. I agree. But you will feel better and be more productive. I agree. Yeah, Lindsay, you're brilliant. That's 100% right. And I think it's about taking whatever's in front of you and knock it out. Don't fiddle fart, get it done, get all the way to the end, and go take a nap. And you'll be super productive, right? It's all the spinning around that gets, I think, everyone caught up into it.
Just because there's always stuff that has to be done.
I understand, but you could prioritize all of those things, and you could say this is what has, just like in the firewood. Firewood should be at the top of your list because it's how we heat.
It probably should be, but it wasn't.
Yeah. Conserve friend says, as an older guy, I warn you that unplanned naps will just happen. Yeah, I like that. Puck Elf says, I won't start a job until I organize all the tools I need so that I'm not messing around. And see, that's how I agree with that 100%. All right. So what else you got, baby? You got a brooder shed, which would be really cool.
Yeah.
Bee broods a lot of birds, and I have a great place. I know right where to do it. I've got big power there where we can create her own little room to do that in, which would then get them out of the house, which means they don't have to smell them. So that's kind of a win for both of us.
Yeah.
I really like
Although
that.
that smell reminds me sometimes, oh, there's birds in there. I got to take care of them.
Well,
So sometimes, like, out of sight, out of mind, it's like, oh, dang, there were birds in there.
oh my goodness.
Actually, that's never happened, but
you have waterboarded a chicken to death. I mean, you have.
yeah, but I haven't like totally forgot that they were in there.
No. Next, she wants to get the master patio done behind pod 4, our master bedroom. We want to pour a concrete patio out there so we can enjoy it. Butcher shop. I think a butcher shop's a big thing. I think finding a way to make the harvesting of animals more efficient, cleaner, easier to take care of. I would
Less theft.
Yeah, I would put that up on our list. You had more privacy tree planting, guys. We planted 2,000 cedar trees.
It's a constant thing, though.
Where else do you want to put them?
I think that we just thicken it, make
Just
it
keep
thicker.
going?
Just
Okay.
like if there's 2 rows, then maybe we need a 3rd row or a 4th row. Maybe we put 2 more rows.
Donna says, laugh out loud. I love this. Men have a different perspective than women on needs. 100%. This is why we go through this exercise, right? This is why we do it. Yeah, Lindsay says, B, you have tag. That's why firewood doesn't have to be at the top of your list.
Right.
Yeah, she's got a firewood fairy, Lindsay, right? Anyway, okay, what else were we at here? Rooster Run. And then she put find a partner for bees.
Well, I just know for bees, I didn't put bees was on there, and then in parentheses it was like find a partner because I can't do it by myself.
Yeah.
I can't lift them. I can't pry them apart anymore. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
The lifting and prying and seeing underneath is just too much for me.
Yeah. So you need a bee partner.
I need somebody that can easily lift 60 to 80 pounds without me having to like have one side of it.
Yeah. Well, I can go lift them for you.
Yeah, but I need somebody to get in there with me and like get in there with me, not just can I be there for 5 minutes? Can you lift it up and let's get going? Like, no, buddy, I need to look at these frames.
You also had Millmore lumber.
Oh, well, because I was thinking that if we had it to mill, then maybe we could put some on more of the walls, is what I was thinking.
And you think that milling more lumber is more important than your feed room in your barn?
Where's the feed room?
Well, mill more lumber is number 18. Your feed room in your barn is number 22.
Yeah, some of those numbers got a little bit wonky.
You're the one that wrote them down. Look, he gave me her list. I just took them off the list. Yes.
Yeah, but look, there was all kinds of scribbles.
Okay, look.
I was trying and trying
Okay.
and trying.
Okay. Feed room and barn number 23.
I know.
And I have it as number 22 because you had a double on there.
I know, because I was getting confused with all the numbers. And then I was crossing off and adding, and so it got a little bit muddy there in the 20s. And I thought, realistically, if we got into the 20s, we were doing pretty darn good.
Scotty says, I need a framing nailer. Buy a Milwaukee battery powered. I love mine. Let's see here. Helen says, I always take 1 hour nap 4 times a week. I love that. Puck Elf says, I got to go fix a Caravanner's old man with cancer, his new toilet cassette fitting too. That's going to be fun. Good for you. Donna says, wait 5 years, then plant 3 and 4th rows. That way when those cedars mature, they mature at different rates. Those bottoms open up after 20 to 30 years. Yeah, that's great advice. We last year planted, I don't even know, man,
A couple rows.
several thousand. Just cedar trees, and then not to count all of the fruit trees and, all of those kind of things. So I think her point's really good. Maybe skip a year or 2 or 3 and then plant the next row so that they're growing up. They're not all the same size one day.
Well, I don't think that, I mean, realistically, if you go in and replant the dead ones, they will be different sizes anyway.
I will tell him what he had for dinner yesterday. Laugh out loud. Oh, yeah. Nito says, B, what about putting in the other type of hive? I think they're called horizontal, so you don't have to lift the boxes.
I've seen those. I don't know anything about it, especially in our climate.
You don't know.
What's the guy has him in Missouri? The guy in Missouri.
Yeah, I think what B needs is one of the other homesteads to find an interest in bees and just partner and say, well, let's do the bees together, right?
Yeah, if you can lift him.
Yeah. Let's see here. The beautiful Louise Wesley is in the house and says, tag Effingham auctions January 10th. Nice big hay savers are there. Yeah, I need to look up and see what's at the auction. I missed the last two. I spoke in Texas on one of them, and I was speaking in Tennessee on the other one. On the last two. Yeah.
That's right.
Let's see here. There is a new type of hive too. Don't need to open. Yeah, I've seen some of those. I just wonder if they actually work, right?
The only thing about the flow hive, when you don't open them, you can't see what's in there. And the reason you get in there is to really look and see what, to make sure you've got your eggs, your brood, all the stuff that they need. And then when they're doing something that they shouldn't be doing, you can get in there and clean it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Conserve Friend says, won't cedar trees affect fruit trees? So yeah, you get what's called cedar apple rust. But if you're smart when you plant your fruit trees, you get particular species of fruit trees. Like, for example, Liberty, Freedom, Macintosh, Yellow and Red Delicious. There's a bunch of them out there that are cedar apple resistant. And so we've only planted cedar apple resistant apple trees. There's
a couple that got in there.
Yeah, Citizen Broadcaster said top bar hives.
Yeah, top bar hive.
Yep. Yeah, he says, Puck Elf says, but they're not as efficient, more hobby level. Yeah, and what's the point of I don't need any more hobbies. So anyway, the one that I found at the end of bees, number 25 and number 26, she said was to goat proof the bird area, because the goats like to get in the bird pens and eat all their food, right?
Yeah, if we could make the bird doors smaller, I think then the goats can't get in there.
Yeah.
Turkeys too. I mean, the turkeys really get in there and
they just raise hell on everything. And then her last item, so the thing on her list that's the least important of all of her items is to eat healthier.
I think that was the last one on there because that was my last. See, it was
right there.
Yeah, it was my last thought, and so I just put it in there. And
I didn't give you instructions to rank these in order.
They were in order, but instead of me going through and erasing all the ones because it was my last thought, I just added it to the list instead of going back through and going, well, should I put in number 5 or 6 and then move all those numbers down? I scribbled and erased so many times. So yes, the eat better was I would like to do, if I go and make a chicken enchiladas or something, I will tend to go and get a can of beans or make something else, get a can of cream of chicken soup. And I know that I can make beans without using a can, which I would prefer to anyway, but it takes all day to cook those things or 2. And so the convenience factor, and then some the cream of soups. I've never made a cream of soup, so I know you can, but that's just not something that I have. And so I would like to get out of eating the convenience of a can of this or a can of that. And so,
which means you got to can more, which means bigger
or like
gardens.
I've dried beans, I've
Mhm.
grown beans, I've dried beans, I have dried beans.
Mhm.
I just have to plan it and prepare them in advance.
Mhm.
You know, just like the cream of soups, if you plan that in advance and you have the items, you jar it all up, then when you need it, it's available. You can just take it and scoop it out and put it in your
If you do all that,
recipe.
you're never going to finish pod 4.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I would love to make my own cream of soups and do all of the single ingredient dinners.
Louise says, don't do flow hives, complete waste of money. Jeff
Yeah.
always had hives in Tennessee. Yeah, Puck Elf says, blackberries are about to come on here this season in a few weeks. Yay. Oh, yeah, we're a long ways away.
Mm-hmm.
Donna Odell says, the rust washes off, not a big deal on apples or pears. I didn't know that. I thought the rust ruined them.
Well, no, it doesn't ruin them. It makes it like scars up the skin and stuff, makes them look ugly.
Oh, I don't care about that. As long as they eat good. Let's see here. Yeah, Puck Elf says you need a kitchen elf. Oh my goodness, do we? We've had a lot of conversation about, bringing on a family onto the farm to help, or building a relationship with someone who lives in an apartment in town that would come out and help. We could split produce or whatever it is. There's just so many potential problems with that, and we're just still trying to work it through, in our head. But
yeah.
Jen says making a big half jar of ice cream of it at a time helps. Making a big half-gallon jar of the cream at a time helps. Yeah.
Mm.
I just seen ice cream in there. I don't know why.
I was like, why did she tell you about ice cream?
So
She's making ice cream.
We're about done. So I need to run through this, and we obviously are not going to get to the good news tonight, but that's okay. I'll save it for next week. So our combined goals, I'm just going to talk about the first few. We need to get pod 4 done. That me and B both agree with that. The food forest fence has got to get done. I think both of those we have a shot at finishing this year. I'm going to get the truck finished. The spring cleaning, getting everything picked up and ready for the spring, building the new bed. B wants to expand the garden so that we can eat even better. I need to get power in the barn because with power, I can move water, right? We want to expand the orchards. We want to do that every single year. We added 28 fruit trees last year. I don't know how many.
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Shoot, Scott and Nikki gave us so many plants. I've got herbs in there that I've never had before.
Yeah. Well, let's keep doing that, right? And if we can keep, like with the reservation, and we can keep getting all that excess and all those things from last year.
Yeah.
We can continue to grow it. Also get the rainwater in the barn. I mean, there's no reason. I've got a 3,000 gallon tank in there and a big barn that we aren't collecting any water on right now. It makes just no sense not to go do that. And then paddock number 3 will be our top 10 to get done. And I think we can get all of those done super, super easy. We'll see how many of the other ones that we can get done, but I think we should focus on the top 10.
Yeah.
And just do the best, best job that we can, to get all the way through it. But so this is what's going 2026 going to hold for us. But I'm going to promise you this: no plan survives. Right? Something will get in the way. And I will tell you, there's something in the, bottom 10 that will get done before something in the top 10 because the opportunity presented itself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's okay.
For sure.
And that's totally okay. I think it's an hour and 58 minutes. And so we're going to get out of here, but I think it would be really cool to just leave you guys with some parting words on this, which is compromise.
Yeah.
Me and B have done this on YouTube every single year about our goals and all of this stuff. And if you're going to live this life together, you've got to live it together. And what that means is I took what was important from her and what was important for me and made them both on the list. There's a saying out there that goes, happy wife, happy life. And it's the most crock of shit saying ever. Because what it should be is happy spouse, happy house. Because I matter just as much as she does, and she matters just as much as I do. And we have to find a way to compromise. We both want to live this life, but as you guys can see, and as we went through tonight, our perspectives are very different.
Yeah.
And what we find is important is very different. It's important to me that I take those things that she thinks are important and I make them important too. And it's important that she, like, I'll promise you, finishing the truck, she could care less.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You want a new truck to drive? Go ahead.
Right.
A new old truck.
Oh, I like that. Conserve Friend says your number one should be pray for continued good health to accomplish those goals.
Mm.
Yeah, assuming our health holds up, right? Yeah. Puck Elf says the communication is the most important thing I see overall. As long as you know each other's motivations. Yeah. Jen says amen to that. Well, I mean, we're just different people, and this is just like in community, the way I view community. And I have people in this community the community that, we live in here who drive me up a wall, but we're all in this for the same thing. It's just the path and that we're going to get there is going to be a little bit different, and that's okay. But so my parting words to you guys is compromise, and your significant other, your family, your partners, whoever that you're going down these roads with, their opinion matters just as much as your opinion, and no more. At the end of the day, I'm just one vote and she's just one vote, right?
Yes.
And they're worth the same in community, it works the same all the way across the board. So my parting words is compromise, that you guys are in this together.
Yep.
You got anything you want to add to that?
Like that. I was going to steal Free Your Mind.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest will follow.
Is that what you do when you just know the firewood fairy is going to come? You just free your mind so you don't have to think about it?
Yeah. The rest will follow.
Yeah. B says, free your mind, the rest will follow. I say compromise. Follow. I say compromise. You guys are in this together. We will see you guys in a week. Thank you guys very, very much. Hold line. Don't give an inch. Tag out.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.